again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns. And yes, we're done sulking. It's over. What's done is done. We're moving on. It's time to look forward and beat the Ravens from now on. Let's go. But I digress. First, I must thank everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel, who has scanned the QR code and become members of the Browns Latest Dog Pound, and to everyone who gets their comments into the viewer comment section. And now, folks, look, Schmidt happens. But here's what we have now. You have two teams eager to bounce back from gut-wrenching losses last Sunday. If you watch the Ravens blow that game to the Bills on Sunday night, the Browns probably learned a lot from it. There's also something else that I figured out that the Browns should be able to get away with when they beat the Ravens on Sunday. And then down in the viewer comments, who might have been the only person smiling, other than a Bengals fan, after that game on Sunday? But first things first. This is bounce back week in Baltimore. We're calling Baltimore the bounce back city this week because you have two teams looking to bounce back. Baltimore, of course, the home of crab cakes and Edgar Allan Poe, and they got a nice aquarium. I mean, we took the kids there. It's right there in the water. Did paddle boat. Pretty nice. But I digress. Here's the deal. The Browns open as a 12.5-point dog. First rule of betting. If you have a defense that the Browns have, and you get double digits, take the points. Double digits and defense, you always take the points. So I'm telling you right now, the Browns will cover. 12.5 points. Are you kidding me? That's a gift. Coach Stefanski asked about Holy Schmidt. Kind of evasive. They'll coach him up. We trust our guys, which tells me they don't trust our guy. Also tells me there's nobody else out there to bring in, because if there were, they would have already brought him in, because we wouldn't have been deciding between the guy who couldn't really kick and the guy who never kicked in an NFL game. But we went with the guy who never kicked in an NFL game. So they're just going to coach him up. That's how they're going to handle that situation. There you go. This is the 53rd meeting this will be on Sunday between the Browns and the Ravens. You know, we've split with them the last 6 since 2022. Everybody thinks like when the Browns play the Ravens, it's like a blowout all the time. It's not. These games are generally close. That's why take the 12.5. Jump on it while it's tall, because it's going to go down. Get it while it's hot. But that's where we're at. This is a bounce-back situation. Two motivated teams. You got Flacco going back to Baltimore. There's a lot going on, a lot of storylines leading up to this game. Now, what a colossal collapse by the Ravens on Sunday night against the Bills. What happened? Start playing prevent defense. I don't know why these teams play prevent defense. I don't get it. I've said for years, why go, like, especially when it starts to get close. Then, you know, they get tighter and tighter, and they keep playing that prevent defense. But Zach Orr is the Ravens defensive coordinator. This is his second year. He took over from Mike McDonald. His system emphasizes aggressive front play and adaptability with less reliance on blitzing and a strong focus on athletic linebackers and versatile safeties. Now, you saw what Josh Allen did to him. Threw for 394 yards and 2 touchdowns, 33 of 46. Now, yes, it's Josh Allen. But Joe Flacco the other day completed Flacco's adjusted completion rate, 85% versus the Bengals. He had 12 passing first downs. Flacco was good. And so here's what we can learn from that Ravens collapse on Sunday night. A couple of things. A, if they want to be aggressive and try to man us up, we can get Isaiah Bond loose. It was pretty much a non-factor in the first game, but we didn't really need it because Stefanski talked about it. He said it wasn't really he says it wasn't the game plan to go 10, 12, 16 play drives, but they were taking what the defense was giving them. And that's the other thing we've learned with this way. So if the Ravens want to sit back, the Browns will be patient and dink and dunk and eat the clock and keep Lamar Jackson off the field. Same sort of approach applies to what we had against Cincinnati. You want to keep Burrow and all that high-powered offense off the field, then fine. Let us just keep sitting back there, and let us have our way. We'll just take our time and be patient and get down there. The other thing is James Cook had a nice day out of the backfield, much like Sampson did the other day against the Bengals. So that is in play. That is definitely something that is in play. But the other thing I think that could be in play, if they want to be aggressive up front, watch for those tight end screens. Boy, oh boy, we just missed that one against the Bengals. That probably would have been a touchdown because there was when they showed that shot from behind the line of scrimmage, there was nobody but blockers in front of Njoku. That ball that got tipped right at the last second. So I would expect Fannin to be involved in some of those too. And if they want to man up, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to cover both Fannin and Njoku and the size advantage. Do you put a corner on him? Do you bring a safety up? I think Fannin is going to be able to have an advantage over almost anybody they try to put on him. So if it's a corner who can stay with him, just throw it up and he'll just go up and get it. If it's a safety, or if they try to put a linebacker on him, forget it. But if it's a safety, Fannin's going to be able to win a lot of those battles too because of his size. So that's that. So offensively, we can attack anything they throw at us. Our offense is built to, adjust to whatever it is they're throwing at us. And that's all Buffalo did. And in a lot of ways, Buffalo was just patient along the way. And then when they go in, how do you go into prevent, especially against Josh Allen? Like, that was just a horrible decision. And then here's the stats from that game. Like take a look. Like, if the Ravens defense with this new defensive coordinator or newer defensive coordinator, it may not be what everybody thinks it is. But you just don't know when the new season comes along. Did they get better? Did they get worse? I don't know. They didn't look that great the other night. So, because even before that, the Bills were moving the ball. I mean, it wasn't as if they waited to the end of the game to move the ball. I mean, they scored 41 points. So, I don't know. I think that we're gonna be just fine. I'm not that worried about their defense. Now, what does worry me a little bit is Derrick Henry, because that guy is just something. It's the combination, actually, of Jackson and Henry. That's what's going to be different this week compared to last week, where Burrow isn't much of a – he's not a threat to run. Where Jackson, he ran for 70 on Buffalo the other night. They don't really get much, going in other places other than Henry, Jackson, and then Jackson was Flowers was running all over the place, but we can man Flowers up, and so I'm not really worried about that. They racked up 432 yards against the Bills. Jackson was 14-19 for 209 and 2 touchdowns, and like I said, Flowers 143 through the air, and then 70 on the ground, and then Derrick Henry's just running all over him. I mean, he gashed them for a couple of big runs. But here's the thing: the Bills still won the game. I think the front line keeps Jackson from getting loose. Newsome had a great game the other day. On Chase, he was out there for 24 routes. For 10 of his 24 routes, didn't even allow a reception. Did Newsome on who was the guy who's supposed to be the best wide receiver in football. So now here comes Zay Flowers. They don't really have much after Zay Flowers. So whether it's Ward or Newsome locking down Flowers, you take that aspect out of the game, right? You worry about Flowers and Jackson, and then here's what I think we can get away with. Let Henry run a little bit. Who cares? Just don't let him gas you like he did Buffalo and get those huge long runs for touchdowns, but just keep him in front, let him get his yards, let the clock run. It works to our advantage. I'm okay with that. Give him those 4 or 5 yard carries. Wrap him up, get him down. Focus mainly on taking Flowers out of there and Jackson out of there, and I think you're going to be okay. Let them burn some clock. Got to lock them down, and then we got to cover Andrews. Andrews always kills us. We gotta find somebody that can cover Andrews. That's the other thing we got to make sure we do. But let Henry rack up some yards on the ground. I don't care. I think we can get away with that. It's more so keeping Jackson under wraps, and then also locking down Flowers. Not letting him run around. Or pick your choice. If you want to stack the box and you just let Newsome or Ward go man to man, Flowers, stack the box, and try to shut Henry down too. So I think we have options because of how good our defense is now and how deep we are up front. And you saw it on Sunday. So we will be able to adjust. I'm just not that concerned about it. What I like too is that we get them early in the year. So, those, like I've been telling you, the first 4 weeks of the NFL season are the toughest to bet, the toughest to figure out, the toughest to predict. It is, because teams don't know what they have yet. And that's why it hurts so bad to not have won that game against the Bengals, because we could be 1-0 and with a great potential to go 2-0 against the Ravens on Sunday. Now, always undefeated, the viewer comments. And today we'll start with Mill, who says the only one smiling Sunday besides Bengals fans was Dustin Hopkins. That's right. Kicking field goals. This is why we got rid of Dustin Hopkins. This should be routine. It shouldn't be like a panic-inducing experience. But it still is. We're still in the same boat. We got rid of Hopkins. Now everybody. What I'm wondering: are we going to tank for a kicker? Forget quarterback. We might need to tank for a kicker at this point if we can't get this figured out. Tina Goldberg, Andre got to go. To miss a point after attempt and a field goal that leads to a loss. Come on, Browns outplayed the Bungles. The game difference was the Schmidt kicks. Yeah, no, it absolutely was. The Browns, total yards, they more than doubled total yards. They held the Bengals to 7 yards of offense in the second half. In today's NFL, have you ever, and oh, by the way, Joe Burrow was the quarterback. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were the wide receiver. We weren't playing the Giants. Come on. Dorian. It was a tough loss for sure. Another one that was right there, but it was snatched away again. They didn't look bad, though. In reality, no, they look great. That's what I'm saying. Going into Baltimore, there's plenty to hang our hat on. And after Baltimore collapsed like that, and I just told you how we can beat them, the early approach to beating them, we got the game plan. We've got the pieces to pull it off. By the way, I think that Ford should go back to running back 3 because I think the Rocket needs to get more involved. Okay. And speaking of Rock, I didn't do that. I did not know. I forgot this one was coming up. Rock 85-34. Ford needs to take a run harder, and when he gets to the line, he needs to run hard. He just can't stop, look, and then run when it's too late. He needs to pick his whole way earlier. I agree. He just, like I said, he just looked lost, and he actually did. I got a buddy who can't stand Ford. And he did exactly what he says he does all the time, and he's right. I just don't get it. Why we keep trying to run him up the middle? But he needs to be relegated back to third string and let the Rocket back up Sampson. Now that the Rocket will have another week under his belt. He only got that goal line carry. So which brings AWalk 56. He asked, did they forget to fuel the Rocket? That's what I was like. Did they only have a little bit? Was he only at like a quarter tank or something? And then they're like, okay, we got enough for like one goal line play. All right, let's go. We'll run him out there. So after seeing Ford, I think you may see a little more of the Rocket this week. I don't see why you wouldn't. What do you have to lose? We're on this youth movement. All the rookies look so good. And Zendat It 5 Sai agrees. He says the young guys look so good. He goes, damn, I'm excited about a loss. Why does it feel like a victory Monday? Schlesinger is such a dog. And that's what I'm saying, folks. That's what I was trying to. Yes, was I down in the doldrums yesterday? A little bit. But like I said, there were so many good things that happened. It's just those kicks and losing the game on an easy field goal like that, just overshadowed all of the good things that they did that entire game. And so outside of that first drive on defense, when the Bungles, gashed us a little bit, the defense was phenomenal, and I thought the offense did everything. It in a game like that, a tight game, a close game, divisional game, that's how these AFC North games go. It's just, that's how it is, man. They're always tight like that, these tight battles, these tight struggles, And we knew going into this season that we were going to be in a lot of these types of games. So we knew we needed to have a kicker who could make kicks. Justin Tucker's on the beach, if you're interested. Somebody was asking, do you think is that a bad look if we went and got Justin Tucker? Probably is a bad look. But I mean, you got to have these. This is the kind of team we have. I mean, look at there's other teams lost games because of Falcons. Like, it's insane. But it is such a necessity, and you can't overlook it. You got to have these field goal kickers who can make kicks. I mean, it should be routine. All right, that's going to do it for today. All right, I told you how we're beating the Ravens, and we'll continue to tell you how we're going to beat the Ravens as the week goes on. Thank you so much for joining us today. That'll do it for today's show. Go Browns! We will see you next time.